I think Cagamas basically is one of the regular issuer in Malaysia. Actually, we are one of the largest corporate issuer in Malaysia after the government of Malaysia. So what we do here is that our main funding base actually relying on the ringgit. So in 2014, actually we realized that we cannot continue to look at only the ringgit. So we set up an EMTN program for us to actually tap into the international market. So I think a few reasons for that, for us to actually look at that EMTN. Partly because of, one is because of different pool of investor in Singapore, for example. They have a different category of investor that we actually can target at. The second one is actually, of course, we don't want to overly rely on the benchmark references in Malaysian market. For example, a lot of time, the issuance referring to the spread over the Malaysian govies, for example. At times, there can be some liquidity issue, or sometimes there can be oversupply issue. So if you were to a regular issuer that comes into the market, so we don't want to actually overly rely on the Malaysia side. So that's the reason why we actually venture into a different currency. For example, so far, we have done 5 currencies like in Singapore, US dollar, Hong Kong dollar, offshore China RMB, and as well as OZ. So I think we do see the benefits of coming to Singapore. Actually, of course, obviously pricing is one of the main considerations. Sometimes we are able to actually have some saving. Just for the information, actually, when we actually tap an international market, because of the underlying assets very much in ringgit, so we actually cross it back via the cross-currency swap to switch it back to ringgit. So even doing so, we're also able to have some saving by tapping the international market like in Singapore. And the second reason, of course, in Singapore, relatively from an interest rate perspective, is relatively stable at the moment. And we see, like I mentioned by Edmund just now, a lot of actually international banks actually come to the Singapore market and tap for their capital management purpose as well. So that's one of the reasons as well, actually we come to Singapore, actually tap. Right?